Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Centre Circle podcast with me, Sean Byrne, and
Sam McKeever.
We are back for the third week of the Premier League. Sam, it wasn't a bad week, wasn't a great week really. A lot to talk about, especially with Arsenal.
Just Arsenal, I think, this week really.
Yeah, really, they were very poor. But we'll start off with the first game of the weekend was Bournemouth Man City.
This was a pretty good game actually.
It was
a lot of action.
Yeah, there definitely was a lot of controversial decisions. Mike Dean was the referee for this game, and he gave out 10 yellow cards.
Yeah, I think he loves himself a bit too much.
Mike Dean.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the teams, Defoe got his first Premier League start for Bournemouth.
Yeah, he did, up front with Josh King. Yeah. Josh King played really, really well actually.
Yeah, Defoe didn't really affect the game too much. Staying on Defoe for a second, how realistic do you think his chances of making the World Cup team are? Because from the first, he didn't start the first two games, and this was his first start, didn't really have an impact. Fair enough, it's against Manchester City, but I think he really needs to kick on.
Yeah, get a few goals.
Because
he's getting to get considered.
He's getting to that age now where, fair enough, he's done it for Sunderland in the past couple of years, but he's definitely in the decline of his career.
Yeah.
So I think, if he doesn't perform in the first half of the season, I think it's very difficult to
even be considered for selection. I think there's probably, it's for the fact as well, England love their sort of top tier clubs. They pick players from there. They usually pick their players from there. Yeah. So
that was evident for the Euros when they didn't play Mark Noble, who had a really good season.
Didn't bring
Cresswell. Didn't bring. I think Cresswell was carrying a bit of an injury, but he still played well. Didn't play Mikel Antonio, who I think was West Ham's top scorer or something like that. At one point, he had the most headed goals out of any player in Europe's major leagues. So but I think Southgate kind of brings a bit of change.
Southgate does,
He's picked Maguire in the.
He's been really, really good though. You can't miss how good he's been.
Yeah, I know, but still, there was still with previous managers. It didn't really matter because, like we said, Noble had a great season before the Euros. So did Mikel Antonio. So did a lot of players, and they weren't brought. But I think Southgate's definitely given people chances, and especially with Rooney retiring from international football. I think Defoe's a good chance to get into the side, but he definitely needs to start playing better. On the Manchester City side of things, they changed their formation.
4-3-3.
Yeah, they got rid of the 3 at the back thing, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
But they didn't play Aguero. They went with Jesus in front.
Yeah, he got tucked off, I think, I'm trying to think now, half time was it? Or maybe it was a bit later.
Jesus got taken off?
Yeah, Jesus got taken off.
Well, I know Aguero came on, but he didn't start. Jesus got the first goal.
Yeah.
But, I think the change in system is better for them in the long run. They didn't really... they weren't amazing this week, but I definitely think the change in formation is a good idea. Jesus got taken off in the 82nd minute.
82nd, okay.
He brought on Leroy Sané. Yeah, and Aguero came on after about an hour. Bernardo Silva actually started as well.
Yeah, he didn't do too bad.
He was pretty good,
He was pretty bright,
Yeah, he's pretty active. I think he's a good player. And Benjamin Mendy, the left back, £50 million.
He was. Some of his run. He's so strong, but he's so quick. He's got everything.
Yeah, no, he really impressed me. It was his debut for Man City. The thing that really impressed me, apart from the runs he was making, was he's not just smashing balls into the box.
Yeah.
The way he crosses the ball, there was 3 or 4 times when he'd get in behind and go to put a cross in, and he'd completely fake out the defender.
Yeah.
He'd be expecting a big looping ball in for someone to head down, and he'd blast it low, and he always kept the defender guessing. I think Benjamin Mendy looks quite good.
Yeah.
But to get to the actual game, Bournemouth were leading.
Yeah, cracking goal. Started really, really well.
Yeah, amazing goal. They looked very promising actually. They had a couple of chances. Defoe did have a chance, but the ball was it just kind of got away from him a bit, so he couldn't get perfect connection with it. It didn't last very long though. Jesus equalised about 10 minutes later.
And then after that, it was all City for the rest of that half. They were knocking it about in their final third, basically.
Yeah, they kind of showed how good they were, and they created a good few chances. It was an amazing goal for Bournemouth. It was a really good goal for City, for different reasons. Daniels, it was a long range, fantastic goal, and then Jesus, great movement on him and a brilliant pass from David Silva, sent him through for 1-1, and then City, like, you know, all through the second half, it was pretty much like 90% Man City. They eventually got the goal, and I felt pretty bad for Bournemouth.
Well, I felt pretty bad, yeah.
There was 5 minutes out of time,
Yeah.
and Sterling scored in the 7th minute.
Yeah, 7th minute.
I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, as well, Josh King had a good chance as well.
Yeah, he
like,
hit the
hit the
post,
post,
crossbar,
hit the post.
But the main thing, or the main talking point from this game, is the red card.
Yeah, it's pretty,
so
pretty debatable.
The first yellow card was definitely yellow. It was a professional foul. He just kicked the player in the back of the leg, tripped him up, yellow card. Pretty, stonewall. And then the second one was when Sterling scored in the 97th minute. He ran into the crowd and he jumped in with the fans, and the fans were like pouring out out of the stands at this stage. You could see that security were having a hard time trying to keep them in, and a lot of footballers, like ex-footballers, like Alan Shearer,
beautiful.
They were all saying that the referee doesn't understand what a last-minute goal is like, especially a winner, and you can't book them, and it's all emotion. The FA, the rule on celebration of a goal is players can celebrate when a goal is scored, but the celebration must not be excessive. Choreographed celebrations are not encouraged and must not cause excessive time wasting. Leaving the field of play to celebrate a goal is not a cautionable offence, but players should return as soon as possible. A player must be cautioned for climbing onto a perimeter fence and/or approaching the spectators in a manner which can cause safety and/or security issues. So that's a yellow card offence. That's what Sterling did. He ran into the crowd. Anything could have happened. I mean, like everyone is saying, there's a lot of emotion when you score a 97-minute winner. And fans were going mental. They were pouring out.
The stewards were awful.
Well, I mean, it was very difficult.
It was difficult, but what was it? Aguero didn't really... Well, I mean, I know the charge got dropped, but I don't think he helped himself trying to... I know he's trying to help the fan, but, he's trying to go over and help him out, but the police officer's telling him, go back.
Yeah, no.
And he's just trying to, oh, you piss off. I want to help him out.
Yeah. But I think the referee got it right. I mean, it would be a completely different conversation if, the fans were spilling out and someone got trampled.
Yeah.
Then it would... Then, not to I guess, draw comparisons to such a tragedy like Hillsborough. Because, what was it, 96 people died?
1989.
No, how many people died?
96.
Yeah. But, with fans that were basically pouring onto the pitch, someone could have fallen or something could have happened. It definitely wasn't safe. And that's a cautionable offence in the rule book. It's very by the book, but I mean, it has to be done. Because if that happened every week, something's going to happen. So I think it was the right. Decision.
If it's by the law, but that's what happened. When you're a referee, you have to go by that rule book. So he had no really other choice. Even though I don't like Mike Dean, and he does a lot of things that kind of put the spotlight on him, he didn't really have much of it. He's kind of doesn't really have much of a choice. I know Pep wasn't really happy about it. I wasn't really happy about him, to be honest, when he got all pissed off about apparently Bournemouth time wasting, and he left the technical area to go into Eddie Howe's technical area and have a go at him. He should be sent for that to the stands, and then that added, I think, another 2 minutes to it because Mike Dean had to come over and separate them. And then the Afobe injury added a little bit more. So that's why maybe he played the extra, it shouldn't even be probably extra 3 or 4 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, well, when the board goes up for 5 minutes, you can't add more time onto that.
No.
So if there's an injury at 93 minutes, the game ends at 95 no matter what. Right? That's the ruling. You can't play on in excess, and this happened to Cardiff when you're in the Premier League as well. I think it was against Tottenham.
Palhinho scored.
It was 3 minutes out of time, and he scored in the 96th minute. I mean, I feel really bad for Bournemouth. There was definitely a lot of stuff going on that the referee had to deal with, but I do feel really bad for Bournemouth because they played better football, and I mean they haven't looked great this season, but They did quite well. As for City, I think, even though they're away from home and they played well, it kind of like not concerns me, but it sort of jumps out at me that they only scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I know with this quality they've got, you should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like Bournemouth play like park the bus. They play pretty open.
No, yeah, they played a bit of football. Like Bournemouth have some pretty good players, you know. But yeah, that game ended 2-1 in the end.
I had one last point. Sterling was the worst player on the pitch and he got the goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't really take much notice of this game, to be honest, but yeah, it was pretty crazy game. The other Manchester club that was playing, Manchester United versus Leicester in Old Trafford. Your favourite player?
Got a start.
Tony Marshall got his first start of the season in for Marcus Rashford on the left. What did you think of the game?
Well, first 45. Mainly all Man United, even though Leicester look always a threat on the break with Vardy and Mahrez. United were literally wave after wave after wave. Couldn't with Maguire was literally stopping everything. So it was literally like West Ham when United started getting the ball, they'd get it, a comeback out, Jones would get it good bit into their half and they'd keep making trying to move the ball around. But credit to Leicester, they stayed really compact and they made it tough for like Pogba and stuff to.
The one thing that I didn't notice from this game, or that I took from this game, was United are playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, and it kind of reminds me of back in the Ferguson days when they had like Tevez, Berbatov, Ronaldo, Rooney, all those kind of players. They'd play really, really confidently. Whenever United played, you always think they're going to win. And for the past couple of years, you couldn't think that. No. But now, with the likes of Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Lukaku, they're playing the same way. But Lukaku and Pogba, to me, aren't playing it too confidently, but are starting to look a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
Because there was 2 chances that Pogba had that, and maybe it was the crowd or whatever. He just decided to hit them from like 35 yards.
Yeah.
One of them went about 10 yards wide and the other was about 5 yards wide. And then the main thing was Lukaku got the ball in the box, his back to goal, but edge of the box, 18 yards away, whatever, back to goal, and he turned and shot.
Yeah.
And like spun around and got the shot away. It went wide, but I mean, it seems to me like in their mind they always have to score.
To get the press off their back and fans.
Well, yeah, but like, not even that. With your back to goal at the edge of the box, why not just pass it
to the edge?
Yeah, or pass it out so that you can get a better chance. I just kind of think like they almost need like a Roy Keane.
Yeah.
Because they've got a lot of big characters like Lukaku and Pogba are obviously big influences in that team, but someone like Roy Keane who just say like cop on, fair enough, take 35-yard shots when you're 2-3-0 up, but when you're 0-0 and trying to get a goal, I don't really see the point in that, and I think they need someone like a real leader to kind of say like reel it in and kind of set them on the straight and narrow, because it's still a very young team.
Yeah.
Who is United's captain on match day? Valencia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see him as a huge character. But anyway,
say it's because he's been there for years, like so.
Yeah, it's difficult to find a good captain
now.
Yeah. Like, you're not really going to get many Roy Keanes or Vieiras
or Tony Adams or anyone like that.
Yeah, it's difficult to...
Very hard to come by nowadays in football.
Yeah, absolutely. But it didn't matter in the end. United won 2-0. Goals from Rashford and Fellaini.
I feel like, though, in the middle part of the second half, it got really slow. Like, it made it very easy for Leicester. And I'm kind of thinking, this is like last year all over again. And I was just hoping that, like, they would score at some point, and it took a set piece. And to be fair, Schmeichel probably should have kept it out. Like, he got...
well, yeah, but I mean...
He got a good hand to it, didn't he? Like,
I think he definitely got a hand to it, but the thing was that no one marked Rashford. Rashford had 5 yards, like a circle of 5 yards around him with no one in it, completely let go. It was a good finish. He made pretty good contact with the ball, and It went in for 1-0, but before that was the penalty.
Yeah.
Lukaku missed a penalty in this game. I thought it was a really, really harsh decision.
Yeah, it was a harsh decision.
Because
definitely.
The ball was played out wide to the left-hand side. The United player crossed it in, and Simpson stuck his right leg out, and his hands weren't by his side. But the idea that you play football with your hands tied, like, it's not Irish dancing. Do you know? your hands aren't always down by your side. So Simpson went in. I think his hands were in a natural position for the way that he was moving. For like his leg was outstretched and his hands were kind of up a bit. But it was given anyway. Kasper Schmeichel made a really good save. Guessed the right way. And then for the second goal, Lingard took the shot and it just bounced off
Fellaini. Yeah, just like a typical Fellaini goal. Really.
Yeah, it really was. My idea of it, or the way I saw it, was that he was offside.
Yeah, he looked a little bit offside.
Half of him was offside, and like we said with the Arsenal, it's any part of you that can play the ball, and his leg was offside, so he was offside, but it wasn't given, it counted anyway. So the game ended 2-0. Not a great game. United didn't play it.
Like, I mean, they had a lot of the ball. Didn't really create much, but Leicester, that was due to Leicester probably staying compact and not giving them much space. Leicester, to be fair, they look dangerous on the break. Mahrez,
they always do, though. I mean, it's their entire game is based around that. But
I think though there was a chance though where Gray came on 2 minutes in, he gets it. Mahrez makes a perfect run. If he plays it straight away, he's in.
If he played that ball like 5 seconds earlier, it would have been a goal.
Yeah.
But he decided to wait. Eventually played the ball, not a great ball, too far from Mahrez, and it, the chance fizzled out. But really, that was an amazing chance. I mean, and it's down to Gray really for not giving that ball.
What do you think of Mahrez though? Actually, just like one last point on it, I'm surprised that he has this really good attitude at the minute, because I wouldn't really expect it. You look at I know you can look at some players. I think you wouldn't think Mahrez would be a fella with.
Yeah, you look at that kind of almost that style of player, like the skillful, creative player, like a Payet or someone who played for West Ham and decided to leave on bad terms. But Mahrez, I have respect for his professionalism. I can understand why he wants to leave. There hasn't been much. There's been a few bids, but there's been no real huge link away. I think he should leave. I think he's too good for Leicester, but I don't think he will leave now because there's, as of recording this, today is Tuesday, the 29th of August, and the window closes on Thursday the 31st. I don't think Leicester have time to replace him, and I don't think they will. I don't think they'll let him go really.
No.
But I have respect for him for accepting to play like any professional footballer.
He's been really good. He looked really sharp.
He looked really good last week, and he looked good enough this week as well.
I think he's probably thinking, I'm not going to get away now, but if I put the graft in and start playing well and try to get my consistency up, I will get my move away to
Roma or
someone like
bigger
that.
team. I think that's definitely the right way to look at it. He does have something to prove from last year. He didn't play amazing.
At times he looked. Well, I mean, most of the team, but Mahrez, a lot of people are pinpointing him out. He's not. He's lazy. And he's just doesn't really care. And
talking about signings or transfers, I guess Man United re-signs Zlatan. For another year, $350,000 a week. What are your thoughts?
I think he's brought him back for the experience, because Rooney's gone now, so we don't really have an experienced sort of player. So he's probably thinking, bring Ibra in. The problem is though, will Ibra take being on the bench so much, because people are predicting he's just going to start in the cup games.
I think it was a free transfer, obviously. Ibrahimovic is a free agent. £350,000 a week to be a locker room leader, or to be a leader for the team in the dressing room is a lot. $350,000 a week, you're going to want him to score goals.
He might have got a pay cut, I don't think, but even though it's still big money, he's probably getting himself.
A minimum he's on $300,000. Do you think, the way I look at it is, I don't think he's just going to play cup games. I think he's too good still to play EFL, FA Cup, Champions League group games, whatever. The idea that Fellaini is their plan B, do you think he could be the plan B?
He could be. could be like one of them when you're struggling to throw him.
Like, he's a really, really good player.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, there was links with him going back to Malmo, where he started his career. Yeah. Milan were interested in him. There was the link with America. None of them happened. But do you think he's going to retire at United? This is going to be his last season.
Could be. He's 35 now, isn't
35, 36, yeah.
He might.
I think he could still go to America.
Yeah, do a year or two there. Yeah. The thing is, though, I wonder what Lukaku's thinking.
I definitely think Lukaku's thinking, well, Zlatan's just here, you know, to back me up. There's no way that Lukaku's losing his place to Zlatan. He would have to, like, not score in about 15 games in a row to lose his place. Because he's their marquee, like, figurehead.
I think he'll learn off him, though. A lot, so much.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is I kind of hope that United, like, I don't have a horse in the Champions League race, but now that Zlatan is at United, I'd like to see him win it. But yeah, we're still yet to see where he fits into that team, if he is just going to be, like, you know, sort of the manager's voice as a player, or if he's going to play in cup games or be a plan B, come on off the bench. Who knows? Next game was the Newcastle West Ham game.
This was a game of two teams, just really low on confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I did kind of find a bit surprising in a way was straight after this game. West Ham released a statement saying that Slaven Bilic's job is under review. 3 games in. None of them are home games.
I know.
I think that's very harsh.
You think?
I think West Ham, United game they didn't play very well after 2-0, right? Looked bright enough. Second game against Southampton, they played really well.
They did well to come back from 2 down.
Yeah, absolutely. They did fantastic to come back from 2-0 down. They were really unlucky in the last minute to concede. This game they played awfully, right? So, I mean, I think this was the first game. Like, if you look at the first 3 games, United, Southampton, Newcastle, you kind of want maybe, I'd aim for like 4 points there. Okay? Fair enough, they've gotten 0. They came close against Southampton. No one expected them to do anything against United. Maybe they should have challenged Newcastle a bit more. 3-0 is a hard score to take. But I think it's very early to
give them the bullet.
Yeah.
Or to even think about it.
Yeah, especially with West Ham's situation, not playing at home for the first 4 games. I'd give them until at least 3 months.
You think?
Well, at least 2, I think. I think it's very harsh to give them 3 games.
See, this is like modern football, though.
But Slaven Bilic done really well with West Ham. He brought them up to European qualification. Last season was a bit of a bump in the road, but still managed to get mid-table. And then, this is his 3rd season at the club. I think he could take them really far. I think he has the ideas of making West Ham a big club, and he's already implemented some of those ideas with signing players like Arnautovic breaking the transfer record, Chicharito, a proven goal scorer. You were talking about last week where, how far can a good coach take you? I think Bilic can take West Ham quite far.
It's just, it's kind of, the board are kind of a bit like, well, what do we do? The fans are kind of like, West Ham's a pretty passionate fan base, so obviously, one week you could be loved, and then the next week you could become like the biggest scapegoat in the club. So he's kind of at that kind of, because I'll pick out again, Tottenham last season, they loved him because they won, because they stopped them winning the league, or even getting close to it. Now because they've lost the next 3, they're like, well, you're shite now, go. And I think next week, after the international break, he has to get something out of Huddersfield, or else I think he will get the bullet. I think they look out for.
Well,
give him 1 game, and give him a last game, and if it doesn't work out, just give him the chop. But the thing is, though, who could they get in?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at managers without a job recently, but none of them really fit the West Ham bill. None of them are Premier League proven. They could get Allardyce back in, which wouldn't be.
They hate him. Anti-football, basically.
The only other big manager without a job now is Thomas Tuchel, Dortmund manager. But it's questionable if he'd go to
a club like
West Ham. Yeah, like you said, their next game is the first home game.
Is it the first home?
They're at home to Huddersfield. Yeah, I think they definitely need to get something out of that. And then they've got West Brom away, which is still a winnable game, and then they got Spurs at home. So I think definitely like at least 6 points out of those games to keep his job.
Say if he wins the next two, everything will be like...
Yeah, it'll be back on track. Yeah. But I feel it's very, I think it's very early to... Because he's brought in players, and it's very early to give him the sack.
Arnautovic, well, he's did a stupid thing against Southampton.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's still his team,
yeah.
So it'd be very difficult to replace him this early in a campaign. To talk about the game and talk about Newcastle, 3-0 win for Newcastle. New signing, Joselu getting the first one, Kieran Clark getting the second, and Mitrovic getting the third. Newcastle played well, pretty well.
I feel like though, for the fourth goal, Declan Rice, who isn't even a midfielder, and he's a centre half playing in the middle. No one tried. He was getting pressured from the right and the back. No one gave him help. And the ball goes.
Yeah, he lost the ball. And
to be fair to Joe Hart, he did go out to him and did try to pick his head up. But I think after that,
it's hard to recover from something like that. You mentioned Atsu. Atsu played very well. So did Matt Ritchie. And I think, Newcastle, especially when Shelby comes back, those three players, Atsu, Ritchie and Shelby, are definitely their main outlets. They, like I said last week, they needed to get Atsu more involved. They did this week. He ended up setting up Joselu for the first. And a guy we were talking about last week, Iosi Perez, who he said hadn't really progressed, played pretty well. He assisted Mitrovic for the third one. I think Newcastle, if they play this way and kind of bring in their big players like Matt Ritchie and get them involved more in the play, the same with Atsu and even Perez, I think they'll be okay because they showed now, 3 goals. They can definitely score. They can definitely play well as well, but it was against a very poor West Ham side.
It's coming up to the end of the transfer, obviously. So let's say if you're like Newcastle, let's say if you get a good bid for Gale, for example, and you have a good chance of bringing in a good Premier League striker, would you send Gale, would you sell him and bring let's say, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to think, what would be a good striker? Who do you think would go to Newcastle?
A Premier League proven
sort of
Newcastle striker. It's a tough one. Andy Carroll, maybe. His injury problems
and there's been rumours of him going back, but I've heard people speaking about that. Because I don't think a lot of fans have faith in Gale. In the championship, he's class.
Yeah, he did very well last season. But he showed before when he played for Palace that he could. He was a bit on off. He wasn't a world beater. I'm trying to think of a player that they could replace him with. I think it's a tough one because he played quite well last season, but would I keep Gale? I mean,
Mitrovic is a hothead and he ended up elbowing someone in that game, so...
I don't think I would. I think definitely they need a big CDM or a holding midfield player,
just a destroyer, really.
Obviously you wouldn't move to Newcastle, but someone like William Carvalho or Stephen Nzonzi.
Well, I think they have a good chance. I think that if they put the money on the table to support, I think they'd have a good chance. Carvalho, because if West Ham were it seemed like they were pretty close, and it looked like they were going to get him. But I must have just fell apart.
Basically he agreed personal terms, and then Sporting Lisbon decided when Chelsea said that they were interested. Sporting Lisbon put the money up from 29 to 36 million, and West Ham said they weren't going to pay it. To go back to Gale, he wasn't even on the bench for this game. He didn't start or was on the bench. He could be injured though. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not really sure about Gale. I think Championship is his level.
Sean last season, early.
With
the amount of goals he got.
Maybe if he was playing with a bit of confidence, he could do well, but I don't know. Moving on to our favourite manager in the Premier League, Frank de Boer. Played at home to Swansea and lost 2-0. Yeah, same problems that we've been talking about for the past
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
1 week, probably.
Well, yeah,
He really dissected it.
When they went 2-0 down in the last 25 minutes, he decided to change up the style of play.
And it started to, and it worked.
They were playing long balls wide, and Van Aanholt was playing well. Townsend played well. They were putting balls into Benteke. He had a few chances, but for the first 75 minutes or whatever it was, they were doing the same
tippy-tappy, trying to make triangles and trying to make space.
Yeah.
And then he changed its style to the typical Palace style, and it worked. They were starting to get chances.
Yeah, to be fair, they'd one chance when they were playing kind of possession-based football.
You on about the Gaboy chance?
No, I'm on about the Benteke one in the first half, where they played Van Aanholt in behind, but Benteke had come deep to get involved in the play.
Yeah.
So when Van Aanholt was in behind, he'd no one to cross to.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we were saying, it shows it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
You can't have this. You can't have the mindset of Benteke needs to get involved in the possession,
especially when he's not really a player who uses his feet.
Yeah. And then play the ball in behind and still expect him to be in the box. Like it kind of, they were almost trying to mix the two, but it didn't work. It would have been a good chance if he was in the box, but he wasn't. He was too deep playing, getting involved in the passing play. The other best chance came from, would you believe it, Sam? Crystal Palace played a direct corner.
I know.
Martin Kelly had a chance. It was a good save. He came on for James Tompkins, who was injured.
Who got injured by kicking the ball out of there.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Kelly was really, really bad. Tammy Abraham got his first Premier League goal.
It was a good finish.
It was a good finish. It was
good run as well.
Yeah, he showed strength to hold off the defender, and he put the ball back in the net. And then the second goal was from Andre Ayew.
The worst thing I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he kicked the ball against the keeper, and then it bounced off him and went down as Ayew's goal. Nothing really exceptional in this game. It wasn't a very exciting week football-wise. I don't really want to talk about Palace again because it's the same conversation. Go listen to last week's podcast.
Yeah, and it's literally the same thing. The ball came out this week. It's just like, we got our act together after 2-0. Well, I mean,
that's great. But you still didn't score at home.
Didn't score, but hopefully now maybe he's going to look at that bit of dominance they had and realise, okay, this is the way to play.
Yeah.
But I think he could be, like you said, he could be stubborn, just like, we'll go back to the tippy-tappy triangle, make space football, which doesn't work with a club, with a team like Palace. I mean, if you look at
they've got realistically, they've got 3 players who can play that kind of that game.
Yeah.
One of them's injured. Zaha's injured. But I mean, he definitely changed the style and it worked a little bit better. I think if he gave it time and tried to implement it slower instead of just throwing the players in, like I said last week, he might have a better chance.
I feel like sometimes though with managers, when they take jobs, they don't, like, let's say for example, let's say if you're like a manager who plays 3 at the back, they don't really look at kind of like the squad at first and try and dissect what the players are good at. They kind of just take the job and kind of put everything, hope that like they play their system and it works, and it kind of, and the ball kind of, I feel like, is
but I think I mean De Boer's definitely doing that, but I feel like the best managers take the time. Like Guardiola, when he came to City, took time to implement his ideals on a City team. And like we were talking about last week, he didn't involve the fullbacks as much because the fullbacks that he weren't good enough. So he changed the style up a bit for the players. It was the same with Klopp and Liverpool. The fitness levels weren't there to play pressing football.
Especially with Benteke, and he realised that Benteke is not the player you want to be chasing after stuff. Yeah,
of course. So he had to change the style up a bit, and I mean that took a little bit longer. But De Boer seems to have just gone in there and been like, "Yeah, we're going to play Eredivisie football, and it's going to work." I mean, that's not.
It's not going to work because, I mean.
I mean, we've talked about it. We sound like a broken record here. We've talked about it last week. Move on to the next game. Watford-Brighton, 0-0.
Brighton played actually pretty decent.
Brighton played okay, but like I said with City only scoring 2 against Bournemouth, alright, the main thing about this game was Britos' red card. It was, I'm going to put it down as the second worst challenge in Premier League history only second to Roy Keane's
on Alfie Haaland.
Yeah, on Haaland or whatever his name was, the knee-high career ender. It was absolutely, like, I don't know how many people have played the game on PS2. This is football, right? But that game was like, you could dive in that game and you could put 2-footers in that game. And the 2-footers in that game were, the player would literally jump, like hip height, and just like aim for the knee. Right? That's what that was. He took off and tried to end Knockout's career. It like that. He should get more than 3 games for that. That should be like 6 or 7. That was an absolutely horrific challenge in inverted commas, like that. It barely even.
If he made more contact, his knees gone.
Like Knockout is seriously lucky to still be walking, because literally if he was an inch further back, his knee's gone. Just his career's over. But yeah, so that was in about the 25th minute. So you got 65 minutes against 10 men.
This is probably the only game they're going to get the majority of the upper hand this year.
So I mean, the upper hand has basically been handed to you, and they hit the post twice. That's as close as they got.
The knockout one's really on. It's a perfect side foot. It just hits the inside.
He reminds me a lot of Mahrez.
He does, doesn't he?
He's basically just kind of Mahrez Jr. He's a bit kind of like, I don't know. He's a bit of he was going down very easy. He seems like a bit of a whiner, but it was his first start. We were talking last week about how Brighton aren't playing their big players. This was Knockout's first start. Played well, but Brighton didn't score. It's their first point. It's 1 point on the board for them, but it does worry me that if you can't score against 10 men Watford,
there was a really, sorry to cut you off there. There was a really bizarre decision in that game. It was like Poodle hit. It was like inside the box. Poodle puts a high foot up. Prodel, sorry.
Oh, the indirect free kick.
What do you think of that? I was a bit kind of like.
Basically, the idea behind that was Knockaert was impeded from the ball. Okay, so Prodel's high foot meant that Knockaert couldn't go 100% in and win the ball. So he was indirectly impeded from getting the ball. It would be like. It would be like, to dramatize it, if Knockaert was running through straight on goal and Prodel had made a fist and looked like he was going to punch Knockaert, and Knockaert got out of the way. He's indirectly
impeding.
It was the same last week when Arthur screamed at Chalobah to leave it. He's indirectly involved. He's not physically involved. So I think, though, it's very strange because it's in the box. The referee is basically saying you didn't make contact with him, so it's not a penalty. But you, by the book, you broke the rules. But there's calls for diving then by Knockaert, because Knockaert's holding his face and blah blah blah, and then the referee says, "Well, you didn't make perfect contact." Then it's over simulation, which goes down as diving. So it's very. It was
a pretty strange decision.
Absolutely. Something that I did kind of like, though, was the player who was rolling the ball to dunk. He faked it, and then the whole wall ran forward, and then they went back, and then he faked it again. I thought that was quite entertaining.
I don't know why though Lewis Dunk was smashing that ball, but I don't know.
I mean, why not? You're 15 yards out, so give it a go. 0-0, not a great game. A lot of chances actually in that game, but none of them went in.
Brighton should have really. I think
Brighton should have won. When you've got 11 men against 10, it's you should at least score. Another 0-0, a little bit more exciting, was the Huddersfield-Southampton game. The first time Huddersfield have dropped points this season. There was a lot of chances in this game, a load of chances. There should have been at least 3 goals in this game. Southampton in the first half made about 1 or 2 themselves, and Brighton made about 5 or 6. Foster had to, Huddersfield. Huddersfield made about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Fred Forster, the Southampton keeper, made 3 good saves. There was 2 off the line clearances or goal savers. Yoshida looked really good getting involved and putting in some really good tackles. And then in the second half, kind of late-ish in the second half, Southampton started looking positive. Long came on, looked really good, which is good for us,
when it comes to
international scene. He looked good. Southampton made a couple of chances, but in the end, 0-0. Yeah, both teams should have scored, but they didn't. I want to get your idea on Steve Mounier. Scoring 2 goals in the first week, and he hasn't scored since. He had 2 really, really good chances. One where Yoshida came in and tackled him at the last second, and then another one where Forrester made an error. But Mounier couldn't put it in. Do you think it was like once off, all hype?
It could have.
Because when you look at Huddersfield, the players that they have, Kachunga played well, Ince has been playing very well, and Moy has been playing very well. Mounier got the goals in the first week and was kind of looked at as the main player, but he really seemed to kind of go
not really kick on. Maybe it was just first game sort of hype and expectancy. The chance, what chance? The one where Foster made a good save from close range. I feel like he should really score that. So I mean, who knows? Time will tell. I feel like Southampton on that game had some of the better, some of the better chances. I think it was near the start of the game. Redmond got straight through. And he should really put that in the corner.
And he hit it wide.
And then
he also had options in the middle to pass it across, but I feel like Redmond's a bit of a, not selfish. He gets a lot of assists, but when that chance presented itself, he wouldn't pass it across. Where a lot of players, like we saw with Atsu, Kolasinac in the first game against Leicester, when he could have scored, he passed it across to ensure a goal. I don't feel like Redmond is that kind of player, but he definitely should have scored himself. Moving on to the Sunday games, we'll talk about the West Brom Stoke game first. Not a great game, but you fell asleep. Great. Well, I was actually impressed by Stoke. They were playing away from home, and Joe Allen, Darren Fletcher, Shaqiri, all those players, even Kurt Zouma got involved. They actually started playing some good football. And I know Stoke are kind of lump it up to the big forwards.
Well, that's the reputation they have.
Yeah, but they have actually got some good footballers, and I was impressed, especially away from home. They were playing some decent stuff. Both keepers, Ben Foster and Jack Butland, made some really good saves in this. Butland looked a bit shaky here and there, but
the one which should have just left, he tried to pick it up and he dropped it.
The ball was going out for a goal kick and he tried to keep it in and he just knocked it out for a corner. But he made a really good save, so did Ben Foster. And I was thinking, watching this game, let's say you're bringing 3 goalkeepers to the World Cup to talk about England again. Who are your 3 keepers?
For me, Pickford, because I eat Pickford, Butland. It probably will be Joe Hart because he's just been around for that long. But someone like Heaton would have.
That's what I was thinking. He came to mind as well. Heaton is a really good goalkeeper and makes a lot of saves. Has been really good for Burnley in the last couple of seasons, and they've got a lot of options in a lot of positions. England, and I mean they're not, fair enough. Heaton, Ben Foster, Jordan Pickford, they're not world class. They're not it's not like Germany who have Bernd Leno and Manuel Neuer and Ter Stegen who are 3 probably in the top 25 keepers in the world. But they still have a lot of depth. They've got 5 or 6 keepers, I'd say, that they could bring, and we were talking about the centre backs as well. They have a lot of depth, and it just feels like for the past couple of years they've been picking the same players over and over because they play for the big clubs. And it'll actually be interesting to see how England do if they do decide to go for if they bring, they might leave Hart, they might take Pickford, Butland and Heaton, or, it'll be interesting to see what team he does go with. I kind of hope Southgate doesn't bring just the same old.
I think though, if he brought them three, they're all, I know Pickford and Butland are pretty young. I'm not sure about Heaton. I think
Heaton's like early 30s.
Yeah. So you've got two class young goalkeepers. You got Heaton, who has a bit of, not necessarily experienced international level, but he's sort of like the wiser sort of.
Yeah, the wiser keeper.
Yeah.
To back to the game, not a great game to be honest. Jay Rodriguez got his first goal.
It's a good header.
Good header, good movement, good finish. And then Peter Crouch, the man with the most headed goals in the Premier League, got the equaliser. Hegazi decided to
try and kick the ball away.
Yeah, like the keeper had it, Ben Foster had it, and Hegazi just swung a leg at it, completely missed, and then the ball went to Crouch, who just tapped it into the empty net. Nothing really of nothing to talk about in this game. So the Chelsea-Everton game is the next game on Sunday. Decent enough game.
Chelsea played really, really well.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Morata scored. Fabregas scored a decent goal, even though it was a bit lucky how he got the ball back.
So to kind of talk about the goals, then Morata flicked the ball on to Fabregas. He tried to pass it through, but it was blocked by Williams, and then Morata headed it on to Fabregas. It's a good finish. And then the Morata goal.
It was kind of similar to the chance he got at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like in between, a really good ball in a good position.
And he put it away.
Yeah, he put it away this time.
Morata looked good. Willian looked like the heart of the team, really. Willian looked very good. Do you think when Hazard comes back, because Pedro's back now and Willian's kept his place, do you think that when Hazard comes back, what's the story?
I think he probably
it feels very harsh to just drop Willian.
Yeah, but I feel like because Hazard is he's the main man really, so I think he's just gonna it would be harsh on William, but I think Conte is gonna be like, here, I have to put him in.
Would you take out Pedro?
That's the thing. I probably would, even though Pedro he's
Pedro's probably one of the most underrated players.
I think he's really kicked up because he came from Chelsea, didn't really do that great.
Came from Barcelona.
Didn't really do that great under Mourinho. His first season wasn't great. He's probably going to go back to Spain, but Conte's stay, and he seemed to kick on. And he seems to become a very important part of the team, and especially at sort of the attacking sense.
On the Everton side of things, Everton looked woeful. Everton looked really, really bad. Calvert-Lewin, who played decently enough against Man City, didn't get his place. Sigurdsson started this game, didn't really have an effect on it. Something that I've kind of been noticing about Sigurdsson is he's not the most active player. He's a little bit lazy, and I'm just kind of wondering if, Everton fans seem to be pinning their hopes on this Gylfi Sigurdsson, not saving their season, but having a huge effect in their season. And I'm just kind of thinking that, is he going to be involved enough to
make the impact that he expected?
Because, at Sunderland, he was the only player.
At
Swansea. He was the only player that could really impact the game. So everything was going through him.
Exactly.
But at Everton, they've got the likes of Rooney and, Klaassen and even Davies who can affect the game. So I'm kind of wondering if he's going to fall into the shadow or fall behind.
Try and look for the ball, make it work, don't stand there static, wait for, kind of look for it, go out.
Well, even though Everton didn't play very well, none of the players were looking for the ball. It just kind of struck me that he really wasn't. But a pretty, Chelsea looked very, very good on the ball. They looked not they look confident. It's kind of difficult to say that they're going to win the league because I feel like they'll come kind of third-ish. It's hard to, or maybe second, I don't know. But I just can't see them winning it again. I don't know. But they did look very good. They played confidently, and they played well. I was impressed with Chelsea, especially after losing to Burnley. They've lost. They've won their second and third games now against pretty difficult opposition. So
I think though, if they are going to win something big this year, they'll probably have to drop So, like, let's say if they want to win the Champions League, they probably have to kind of...
Yeah, they can't chase everything. Yeah, that's fair.
Because their squad's just too thin.
Yeah. They've been linked with William Carvalho.
Yeah. Even though they're about to sign Oxlade-Chamberlain, but
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll go now, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
The other game on the Sunday, the third or the fourth game, is the Tottenham-Burnley game.
Yeah.
We'll leave the Liverpool-Arsenal game because I think that's the... we've got the most to talk about, so we'll leave that to last. 1-1, Spurs-Burnley, the Wembley wobbles, or the Wembley woes.
Kane had a good few chances.
Kane had 10 shots in this game.
Jesus. I didn't know he didn't have that many.
He hit the post once, I think.
Yeah.
He had 2 early chances that were like really good chances that he missed. And the whole thing is that he's never scored in August and all this and blah, 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 blah. But like, I don't know, he just has looked really bad.
Yeah.
Like really, really bad.
Yeah, it's not like before, like he wasn't really getting sort of chances. He's getting chances.
Yeah.
Which one I'm trying to think, that he's straight through and you're thinking he's got the score.
Straight at the keeper.
Straight at Tom Heaton.
Yeah, literally like England's number one. Like he must be playing with so low confidence.
Yeah.
Because like they need Kane to play well this season, and he really has not been showing any promise. Yeah. He hasn't done anything. Like he hasn't even got an assist or anything. He's got a load of chances, like we said in this game, 10 shots, no goals. Really just poor from Harry Kane and Tottenham in general almost. The one thing I did notice more in this game than the Chelsea game was Dele Alli was putting himself about a bit more. He got involved in the play more so. Against Chelsea, it seemed like it was all Eriksen. In this game, at least, Eriksen had Ali, who was helping him out, and Dembele got a little bit involved more. But yeah, I mean, Burnley at home is a game that you should win 3-4-0.
I think the worrying thing though from that game, Burnley in the last couple of minutes were really getting on top.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking Tottenham would be very, very lucky to get away with that. Get away with that 1-0 win. And there were some really dangerous balls coming in from both sides, but the pass from Robbie Brady for that equaliser was unbelievable.
Wow. But absolutely amazing.
On the flip side, on the Tottenham side, they've let a 6 foot Chris Wood's
3-4. 6 foot 3-4,
yeah. A really big player just kind of strolled through and put the ball in the corner.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Tottenham's goal came first. It was a crap goal. Ball came in from the corner. Ali made connection. Balls bounced around, and then Dele Alli just kind of got a foot in it and went in the back of the net. But like you were saying, the second goal, the Burnley equaliser. I talked about Long in the Southampton game playing well, which looks good for Ireland. Brady and Ward played really well in this game. The pass from Robbie Brady was unbelievable, and I feel like Robbie Brady is underused, not underutilized at Burnley, but he's almost too good for Burnley. I don't see why Brady couldn't go to maybe not Everton, because it's difficult to fit him into that Everton side.
Someone like a Leicester or something.
Yeah, like a Leicester or a Southampton or that kind of
a team who kind of play football a little bit.
Yeah, and who could challenge for a European place, because I think Brady started his career at United.
Yeah.
And I think it was harsh to let him go when he was that young, because if he kicked on at United and played to the United levels, he'd be
You think?
I think he is a fantastic player. I really do. I think he's the delivery and his work rate and his ethic.
Yeah, his attitude is brilliant.
Yeah,
especially because when most players leave a massive club, they're like, well, fuck, I don't know what to do. He went to Hull, and even I remember Liam Brady saying he built himself up so well, and he's got to Burnley now, and who knows, he might move again to a better side.
The other thing was that he's a right or left winger.
Yeah.
He plays in the wings, but when he was asked to play left back, he played left back and did it to the best of his abilities. And most players would kind of not enjoy being moved backwards. I mean, maybe he didn't, but he still put in the work. Maybe I'm a bit biased because he's Irish, but I just feel like he is a really, really talented player that goes under the radar.
Do you think though? I know there's a lot of things. Joe isn't a Dunphy shite on about that street footballer sort of mentality. Do you think he has that a bit in him? And the way he plays? Or is it...
I don't think, like, what Sam's talking about is the idea that, you know, you kind of learn the ways of football on the street, and which kind of means, like, you're a bit more technical than, like, if you like learned it at a club. It's a bit of a stupid mentality. I don't really agree with it. But no, I don't think he does.
You know,
I think he's just technically gifted.
Yeah.
I don't think this like idea of a street footballer with like, you know, the skills or whatever. No, I don't think anyone has that. I think just some players are more technical than other players. You know, like it comes more naturally to, like it comes like first touch and technical ability and like dribbling comes more naturally to shorter players.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you look at Messi, when he was younger, even like before he broke into the Barcelona side, if you ever look at footage, he's naturally dribbling the ball.
Even at
like,
5 or 6, like he's just skinning people.
Well, yeah, like there's videos out there from when he's like 13, 14 playing for Barcelona youths, and he's just skilling people and doing whatever he wants with the ball. Same with Ronaldinho. There's that famous video where he scored 23 goals in futsal. Yeah. Like, you know, if you look at like taller players like, you know, Kane or Wood, or, you know, they have to work a lot harder on their first touch. Like if you think of like Crouch or Carroll, they're not, or Benteke, they're not technically amazing.
They're just not very good. They're good with their head.
Yeah, and they're powerful and they're strong. But it's difficult. Like I'm 6'3", you know, and my first touch is not very good. Yeah. And I've like, you know, I had to work on it a lot as a kid, because like it's difficult being bigger to like control your limbs more, if that makes sense. Like, you know, it sounds weird, but no, I don't. I think Brady's just technically strong. You know, as most players his size are. You know, you're not going to get a 5'6" target man, same way you're not going to get a 6'5" winger. You know, like it's just that's how it goes. But yeah, to talk about the goal, the pass was amazing. Yeah. Like, fantastic pass. Yeah. Chris Wood got in the end of it and slotted it home. The one thing I did notice about Chris Wood and Burnley were creating a lot of chances. It was actually Wood's third chance. His third shot went in. I mean, he's not going to get 3 chances every game. He looked like so-so, I guess, coming off the bench. But the fact that Tottenham let him have 3 chances and he scored on his third is amazing. Like,
he's not hard to miss.
No,
he's so tall. Like, you surely when that ball go, like, surely if you look at, like, let's say if you're the forwards back with him, surely you'd see, like, right, I won't just get tight to him because he's not very quick.
Fast.
Yeah, so like, but like he started.
Where did he go?
I don't know who was it. I don't know who was running. He just, whoever the defender was, just ran beside him.
It was Alderweireld was behind him.
Yeah,
and the ball kind of bounced in front of Alderweireld, and it was too far for him to commit to the ball.
Yeah.
But it just bounced perfectly into Wood's path, and Alderweireld just kind of accepted the fact that it was going to be a goal. Like, he wasn't diving in or anything, you know. Tottenham, like, what do you think of Tottenham? And that's not the Arsenal chant. What do you actually think of Tottenham?
I mean, against Chelsea, I was like, okay, they did play quite well. This game was a lot different.
Yeah.
They controlled it, whatever. Kane
was so unclinical.
Yeah. But like, how the way they started, this is like the 3rd game in, and I think the whole Wembley thing's like, oh shit, we're winning at Wembley, and they just, all the stuff Burnley were getting. Yeah. I was shocked. I'll look at the highlights. Burnley were starting. Ward was getting a free. He got loads of space, like at least twice down the left.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, again, to talk about an Irish player who played well, Stephen Ward played really well in this game. But I don't, like, do you really think that the whole Wembley mentality and the psychology of playing at Wembley is a huge deal?
No, it shouldn't be a huge
deal. Because, like, fair enough, I'm not a professional footballer, but when I played football, I preferred playing away. Like, I thought it was cool to, like, you know, go
look
on
at the pitch, you know.
Yeah, like, you know, to play away was a bit like it was kind of a bit better. I mean, you know, it's different in the Premiership where, like, you've got to go and then, you know, you're almost the enemy, like you're surrounded by the other team's fans. But like, Tottenham are at home at Wembley. They are surrounded by their fans. So I don't understand how playing on a different surface is such an issue.
Makes a difference,
Literally, like it like the size of the stadium shouldn't matter, or, you know, the fact that there are like 20,000 unsold seats every game, or whatever it is,
a bigger pitch,
or whatever. Like, the pitch size maybe a little bit, but surely you get used to that. Do you know? Like, I just feel
you're fit. You're a professional footballer, so you're fairly fit. Like, you're able to get around.
And you should be able to play wherever you're asked to play. Do you know? Like, I don't really get the mental side of it. But as a whole, it's obviously getting to Spurs because they haven't been playing very well.
Do you think, though, the media have a part to play in it? In a way,
the fact that they keep talking about it, maybe. Oh,
well, Spurs have never won at Wembley. Well, not never won it, but they haven't won at Wembley, and they haven't got a great record. So they're like, oh, well, if we don't, that kind of plays in their mind a bit when they're winning
but
games.
I think it's kind of like a bit mentally weak to fall into that trap. Like, you know, if you're a professional footballer, you got to have thick skin, right? And you can't look at the media and say, oh, Spurs haven't won many games at Wembley, and then think, oh, well, that's it. So, you know, like,
surely Poch as well should be taking that out of them. Like, fuck them.
Exactly. Like, I just think, I don't know. I don't think it should matter that much. I think they should kind of cop on a bit and just start playing football, because they're a good side, and, you know, they were really bad against Burnley. You know, I think if that was in Turf Moor, it could have been like 2 or 3. Burnley could have pulled off the incredible again. One thing I do want to talk about before we move on to the amazing game at Anfield was that Davinson Sanchez chap, the £42 million centre back, was on the bench. So it's looking like they spent 40 million
on a backup
centre back
and a rotation squad bar.
We'll see how it plans out, but just to get that in. Now, Sam,
I've been waiting for this. This is my favourite. This is the game that I want to talk about for the whole week.
We've got this little room booked out for another hour.
Do we have? Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. It's basically going to be like 40 minutes just talking about this game. I actually want to start out by not talking about either team. I want to give a personal, like, analogy here, okay? Like I said before, I support Cardiff, okay? Cardiff are not a good team.
No.
For the past couple of years, we have been, like, really bad, okay? And there have been times when I have been, like, really annoyed and upset with Cardiff, and I've wanted the whole backroom staff to get the sack, and I went over to Cardiff to watch a game, and, like, we were playing pretty poor, but we were playing Bolton, and Bolton were last, okay? We lost 3-0 at home to Bolton, and I was there. That was the lowest point as a Cardiff fan. I swear to God, like, I didn't, like, say, I was in shock. I didn't say a word for like 3 minutes after that game. Like, the point I'm trying to make is, like, it's difficult to support a poor team, like a bad team, and I know what that feels like, but I have no idea what Arsenal fans are going through right now, because they're not a Cardiff. They're not expected to come mid-table or fight for relegation. They're expected to get Champions League, and they are playing so badly right now. Like, Cardiff, like I've been saying, the past couple of years we've been pretty poor. We got Neil Warnock in. We've won 5 out of 5 this season in the Championship. If Cardiff played Arsenal, I'd actually be confident.
Really
like, a couple of years ago, I think, here we're going to lose 4-5-0. Because even if Arsenal weren't playing well, I'd think, well, it's Arsenal. Now I'm thinking Cardiff have a chance. Cardiff could win that game. Honestly, like,
the two teams. I say Cardiff could give them a good, like,
I think
really good run for that money.
To go on to the game, like, I watched this game twice. Because I could not believe what I was watching. Like I watched because I try and make notes on every game. So I watched the game, watched it again, and then watched highlights, like solid, like 6 times, because
trying to take positives out, kind of.
Yeah, trying to take anything out of the Arsenal performance. Like Arsenal Fan TV did a player rating system, and Czech I think got 5, and the entire everyone else on that starting lineup got 1.
Yeah,
I think Ozil got 2, or maybe Bellerin got 2 or something. But the highest for an outfield player was 2.
Yeah, Ramsey got a 5 in the Mirror or something. Or it was one of the tabloids in England, and then some French newspaper gave them a 2. So I was kind of talking to someone about this, and it's like the foreign newspapers give for that performance they gave the right ratings.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for the English ones, are kind of like
a little bit biased. Yeah.
They're so generous. Kerry's got a 6 on that. No. He nearly gave them 2 goals.
No.
How what like?
All right. Well, before we get into the nitty gritty of Arsenal, a few selection kind of points to talk about for Liverpool was Karius started ahead of Mignolet. I don't know if Mignolet's carrying an injury, but I can't fathom that he's unfit because it's a keeper.
Yeah.
You know, like you'd have to be really unfit to be dropped as a keeper. And Karius played really bad. Yeah. Like you said, he almost gave him 2 goals.
Just given 2 goals.
Yeah,
away.
Almost. Yeah. He on the ball he looks woeful. He just like really bad performance. The other thing was against Crystal Palace, Andrew Robertson to me was their man of the match.
Yeah.
Moreno plays.
Yeah. No. Robertson got the time off. His girlfriend or something's having a child.
Oh right. So. Okay, I didn't know that, but. Even then, Shirley Milner.
Shirley Milner. A game like this.
Like, I don't see why. Moreno actually didn't play terribly this game, but like.
He was made look decent, to be fair, though.
Yeah, like, Arsenal made Liverpool look like Champions League contenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm going through my notes here trying to talk about Liverpool for a second, but it's all just how bad Arsenal were. I guess we have to talk about it.
Yeah. The team selection again, like, Bellerin, left wing back. No Kolasinac.
No £50 million striker.
No Lacazette. With him, and I was thinking him and Sanchez could actually lift this team, and maybe they might get a good result. Mm-hmm. Didn't start.
Played Welbeck.
Played Welbeck.
Like, are you trying to tell me that Danny Welbeck's better than a £50 million striker?
A panic buy from 2014 by Arsenal.
I watched a video actually by the YouTuber Hugh Izzy.
Yeah.
Played in a couple of Wembley Cups, that kind of thing. Does a few FIFA things. He's an Arsenal fan, and a direct quote from the video that he did, the reaction video for this game, was, "This is what we are, a Europa League club. This is not a Europa League performance.
No, this is like League 2.
Yeah. Like I said, I actually would feel confident Cardiff playing this team. If we got them in like the FA Cup final now, I'd think we're bringing a trophy back to Cardiff. Like, this was probably the worst performance I've ever seen
from Arsenal.
Like maybe the 8-2 against United.
But to be fair, they had the most depleted team there. This team here, like, it's not a bad team.
No, that's the thing. On paper, this team looks solid.
Yeah.
But realistically, the way they're playing, it's the worst Arsenal side ever. And like they've had like Shamak, Andre Santos, Danielson, Eduardo,
Benoit,
some awful players, right? And this team don't really have many awful players apart from like Holding and.
Really?
I don't think he's at the races.
No.
I think he needs to go on loan to like the Championship. I don't think he's Premier
If you
League.
look at some of the people beside him, they haven't been given him a dig at all.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but still, like for the Mane goal, you could park a bus between the space that he gave Mane and like where he's standing. Like in his own box, he's backing off Mane and giving him time and space. Like he could have built a house in the time that Holding gave him that.
Surely for like a young player like him, surely if you see him struggling, surely someone one of the experienced players should look at that. Shit, I should come across and help him out.
But that's the other thing. You play Holding right centre back, where Mane is, and his cover from the right wing back is Oxlade-Chamberlain,
who is
a winger.
Yeah, I could not give a fuck, because he knew he was leaving the next day anyway. So he's just like, I don't know why that's the thing as well. I don't know why Wenger played him. Because he dropped Mustafi because he's apparently off the Inter.
Why is he selling centre backs?
I heard a rumour. Apparently, I think it was after the Stoke game, he went a bit nuts.
Who?
And Mustafi, he said to Wenger, well, like, what the fuck you doing? And he's kind of like, well, you don't, question me because I'm fucking Mr. Arsenal. So he just said, fuck off, you're gone. So that's the thing. This is the thing as well, and I don't like. The thing with Wenger is like, and it's like I didn't really have to look into it much, but you don't really have to. But like, he just doesn't want to let go.
I honestly believe, right, that he's got so much stick throughout the years that he signed this 2-year deal, and he is purposely driving Arsenal into the ground. Yeah. Because whoever takes over from him then will have an impossible job, and then Wenger can point the finger and say, look, he's not as good as I was. Yeah. Because that is the only thing that I can think of that makes sense. Yeah. He is literally, it's like he gave the team sheet to like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, write that out for me, pal.
It doesn't make any sense. I've written a few things down here, right? Yeah. Mertesacker's still on the bench.
Why? He's your most experienced defender, and you need experience in games like this.
Like, even, you're playing a left-back, centre-back, still. Yeah. Do you know, you've got Holden playing centre-back. Yeah. Swap one of them out for him. Bellerin still at left wing back. Why? He's not a left wing back.
And he's been playing shite as well.
He has been playing, like, how can you look at that team from Stoke, see how bad Bellerin was, and think, he's playing well, going to keep him there against Liverpool, who we should at least challenge. The third goal, the Mohamed Salah one, where Bellerin was the furthest player back.
Where is anyone on the halfway line?
But not even that. He touched the ball with his, I think, chest or foot or something. The touch went about 10 feet in the air, right?
You should just head that ball back in.
He tried to karate kick it.
Yeah, I know.
Salah ran the half the pitch and scored.
Yeah.
If I was the manager, I would be taking him straight off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
The game as well, right? The central midfield picking, the pairing, was the stupidest idea at a game at Anfield.
Yeah.
Surely, right?
Surely you like bring in Coquelin
or El
Neni to give yourself a bit of like stability. Granit Xhaka, and I said this in the first game, I said that he was not at the races, but he got 2 assists, so I let him go. Last game, he basically gave a goal to Stoke. Yeah. This game has been like on a scale of 1 to 10, he's on negatives.
Yeah.
He's given me points. Like, he was absolutely dreadful, and it's the third game in a row that he has cost Arsenal a goal.
Yeah.
Like, £35 million. It's probably the worst £35 million ever spent in the Premier League. I think he is. I wouldn't even have him at Cardiff. I would like he's not at Premier League or any standard. He needs to go. Like, he is so bad. He is dreadful, Sam. He cannot pick a pass.
But I don't feel like, this is another thing, so I don't feel like that Wenger signed him and he's like, well, what type of player is he? Is he a ball-winning midfielder? Is he a deep-line playmaker? Is he a box-to-box midfielder? I don't think he knows. And him and Ramsey, I think, just get the style they have just clashes in midfield. When you play 2 in the middle, you need one to be sort, like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. I don't even coach. You don't even coach. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, right, you need one player who does the dirty work, and you've got another player to kind of drive the ball forward.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's like, right, I'll pick 2 players so similar that, like, it just won't work and we get ripped through the middle.
But, like, they're similar, but Ramsey does his job well, and Xhaka's just terrible.
Well, Ramsey was
bad. Yeah. Like, everyone on this Arsenal team was bad. Like, but at least Ramsey on his day is really good. Xhaka on his day is acceptable at best.
I mean,
because Xhaka had his day against Leicester and played terribly but got 2 assists. That's the best you're going to get out of Xhaka.
But like, I still think though, like, I actually don't think he's that bad.
I think he's probably the worst player at Arsenal.
I personally just don't. I can't. I'm just thinking like, you've came for 35 million quid and you didn't look that bad in Germany. So what is gone wrong? What has gone wrong?
I don't know, Sam. I don't know what's gone wrong with him, but he's not at Arsenal level. And it's hard to define Arsenal's level now because the way they're playing, I said in the first podcast that Spurs weren't going to get Champions League. Yeah. Arsenal aren't going to get Europe. Arsenal will literally, they're going to do it Chelsea, they're going to come like 12th.
Yeah.
Because like if look at, there's so many teams. Like if you look at, Huddersfield could beat Arsenal.
Yeah. Right now,
100%. 100%.
I think a lot of teams could beat them.
Yeah. Like apart from probably Brighton, maybe West Ham, the way they're playing now. I think, like I'd say there's at least like 15 teams that could beat them. And if you're saying, there's no way, Stoke beat them. Yeah. Stoke are tipped to go down. They beat them 1-0.
Yeah. The one thing though I've kind of looked at as well, like ever since, like I know I'm going a bit back, but ever since like the Invincibles and all they went, there's no player in the middle of that team who've been over, like I've said it last week as well, there's no one big. They're all midgets. Yeah. And it just, like when you're playing in the middle of the park in that league, you can't be you can't be tiny, you're going to get destroyed. But like it seems like I feel like they need like Nzonzi or William Carvalho more than anyone else in that league. Yeah. And I think they need both of them. Yeah. Like they need Steele in the middle.
Absolutely. They've got no leg breaker. They've got no like someone who's just going to do the dirty work.
They've got people who someone said, but they've got people who like kick people, and I'm like, no,
that's a different thing. Yeah, that's not the same thing. You don't want someone who's just going to have a go and like kick someone and get sent off.
You want someone
like that's Xhaka
sliding in. Yeah, that is Xhaka.
Literally, Xhaka just puts in awful tackles all the like that's not a ball winner. Yeah. That's just someone who can't tackle. There's a difference. To make up for the fact that they don't have anyone who can win the ball, Arsenal have turned into this dirty team. You saw it in this game. Yeah. Bellerin was hitting the shoulder late, and Koscielny did it at one point where he just put in a terrible challenge, nowhere near the ball. Like, there's a difference between being a strong player and being a dirty player. Yeah. Like Roy Keane, to talk about him again, was both. Yeah. Like he was a strong player, and then when he needed to be, he was a dirty player. Yeah. Vieira was a strong player, and then to a lesser extent was a dirty player. Like there's no one on this team that's either, apart from Xhaka. Xhaka's a dirty player, but like there's no one who's just gonna sit back, win the ball, give it to the more creative players. Like Coquelin was doing it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was doing all right. Yeah,
Coquelin when he first broke into the team really was like sitting back, winning the ball and passing it wide.
I feel like that papered over the cracks though, because he started to like go down really quick. Wenger's like, because I remember the game because everyone Arsenal had so many injuries in midfield. They're right, we have to bring Coquelin back on loan from Charlton. He played a blinder, and then Wenger's like, look, the problem's fine. Like I don't need to bring anyone in. Papers over the cracks for the 900 million times since God knows when. Yeah. And he started to just go. He started to just after a while. The whole luck thing ran out with him, and he started to play poor, and it started to be his typical self. And then he just hasn't got the person in. He hasn't got the big 6'4" beast in the middle who's just going to stop everything.
Yeah. No. One of the notes that I have down about Arsenal is that they need to sign like 4 or 5 players.
Oh no, 100%.
They need to bring in 2 centre backs. Yeah. Okay. If they're selling Mustafi, they need to replace Mustafi. They need to sign Van Dijk.
And they need to get sort of a replacement for Gabriel maybe.
I think I think right as it is now, they need to sign centre back anyway. Yeah. They're selling Mustafi, so that means they need to sign 2 centre backs, right? They have 2 days. Yeah. 2 days to sign 2 centre backs of like world class quality. Like bring in
and they're going to be paying so much money.
Bring in like Koulibaly or someone. Yeah. And Van Dijk. I think they need to sign, like we said, the big player in the middle. I think they need to sign
left wing back.
No,
not left wing back. Sorry. What is it now? I'm trying to think.
I think
right wing back, Chamberlain replacement.
Well, no, I think Bellerin could play on the right and Kolasinac on the left. I think they need to
I don't think Wenger will do that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, they need to get rid of Wenger. That's the first thing they need to do, but that's not going to happen.
The board as well are fucking idiots as well. But, that's
I think I'll get to that in a second.
There's one thing though I remember. Lamar. Yeah. Wenger's like, the deal's finished. It's dead. Yeah. Liverpool are about to fucking sign.
Mm-hmm. I think that's hilarious. Yeah. Like, it just shows Liverpool go and smash Arsenal 4-0 and then they sign their main target for the summer.
Who they've wanted.
Like, it just shows like the difference in class. I think they need to sign like a replacement for Ozil.
Yeah.
Like a Lamar. They need to sign Thomas Lamar, essentially. Yeah, and then I think they need to sign depth players.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have depth in that team.
See, the thing is, though, I know you're talking to, one of our mates, right, the other night about Ozil, about how he won a take on the championship. And he went through his stats. He's never done it in these games since he's came to England. Never, ever, ever I've seen him in a game where he's got the ball, played a good ball. I've never seen him score or assist.
I have a stat actually about Ozil. Ozil's supposed to be Arsenal's creative player. He's supposed to get all the assists and be fantastic.
Yeah.
He made 77% passing accuracy.
He's meant to be like Mr. Pass.
He's meant to be like 95%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not he's so lazy. He's not involved in the play enough. A little less than 80% passing accuracy isn't good enough for someone who's supposed to be your creative spark. Arsenal had no shots on target.
Yeah.
They had 8 shots.
They didn't test that defence at all. No. That defence is shite.
They made the defence look amazing.
They made the defence look like... That's the thing as well, though. That's what from a Liverpool standpoint. Klopp might look at that and think, my defence is fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Well, not fine, but it's not as bad as people think. But Arsenal didn't put...
It was men against boys.
Yeah, but if there was one sort of tiny Arsenal could have came out for 4 minutes and tried to blow the house down and try to make something. They just had 2 shots from 35 yards out, which were blocked easily. And his substitutions as well. Also, Sanchez, as he always does, even though he was shite, tried. He was trying to make something happen. Also was just well, I can't give a fuck here. Yeah. He stays on the pitch.
No, to be fair though, Sanchez was really, really bad.
Yeah.
He's coming back now from this injury or whatever, but he had 65% passing accuracy.
Yeah.
That's a little over half. That's dreadful.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was going really deep to try and get the ball. But it shows he's trying to do what Xhaka should be doing.
Yeah.
Because Xhaka's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. To talk about the goals.
Yeah, which we haven't done because we've just been shite.
Yeah, we've just been talking about Arsenal.
The first goal, right?
The Firmino goal.
Ramsey is moaning at someone while the ball's coming in the box.
Yeah.
And Firmino, the ball goes in between Koscielny. The ball gets in between. Firmino gets in between Koscielny and Holden. And he's literally got a free header.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's dreadful.
Koscielny apparently is meant to be a leader.
No, he's not. He's the worst. Of them, he is probably the worst captain, I think.
Someone who's meant to tell Holden, mark that space. No. Don't let him get to it. No. He fucking just looks at him thinking, oh, fuck. What am I meant to do? It's so... I don't even know why I'm getting frustrated. I don't even support the fucking club. But it is...
it's actually frustrating to look at from an outside point of view, because it's just, it's not sad to see, but, it's just... it's hilarious.
It's like a snowball of it. It's going to get worse.
Absolutely.
It's going to get so much worse.
I've written down here, Firmino goal equals whole defence. So the whole defence is at fault for that goal. Mane goal, Holding's at fault. Salah's goal, Bellerin's at fault. The Sturridge goal, Koscielny's at fault.
Yeah.
So if the Mane goal, Holding, like we said, gave him just time to, he could have built a house. Yeah. Salah's goal, Bellerin just didn't know what he was doing with himself. And the Sturridge goal, the last one.
Yeah.
Go back and watch that goal, right?
Which one?
The last one, the Sturridge goal, the header. The ball is out in wide left, right? And Koscielny is in the centre of the box. Daniel Sturridge is running in a straight line at the back post, okay?
Yeah.
So the winger for Liverpool looks up, and Koscielny turns around to see who's behind him. And you literally, watch it again, you will see Koscielny look at Sturridge, and he holds the position he's in. Ball comes in, right on Sturridge's head, back of the net. Yeah. Why is Koscielny not turning around and going, he's not bad, he can score a goal, and track back 5 feet, so if the ball goes to him, he can head it away. Yeah. He literally just turned around and went, it's fine, and then he scored. Yeah. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Throughout the whole team. Like, literally, I feel bad for Petr Cech because he conceded 4 goals, but there's nothing that he could do, right? The defence, the 3 centre-backs were pathetic. Yeah. Koscielny came into that team and everyone thought, okay, well now we've got a bit of stability. Yeah. Dreadful. The wing-backs, Bellerin's out of position, Oxlade-Chamberlain doesn't care, right? 2 centre-mids. Ramsey was trying a little bit, but he just not at the races. Terrible. Xhaka, just a bad footballer. Yeah. Sanchez coming back from injury, bad game. Yeah. Had to try. He was trying to do everything he couldn't. Yeah. Ozil didn't try anything, and then Welbeck didn't get anything supplied to him. He had one chance at the start of the game that was like
fell over and
pretty
scooped
much
it over the bar.
Yep, that was it. That's all he did. It's a miracle that Karius kept a clean sheet.
It is a miracle,
and it just shows how bad Arsenal could have had a shot from 40 yards, and it probably would have gone.
Would have had a chance of going in.
They were just so bad. They're still playing this weird 3 at the back thing. They're selling one of their only centre backs. What is Arsene Wenger actually doing?
I don't know. I can't get my head around it. The one thing I was thinking about though, defensively, imagine that back 5, right? Who Wenger had at the start of his era. Imagine them watching that. They are probably so fucking annoyed and pissed off and disgusted at the fact that back 3 are absolute pansies, basically.
Are you talking about now
Keown, Adams?
So the team that Wenger had when he came
the
to
back 5 he inherited, you know. Because that's the thing as well. I was kind of thinking about this as well. Wenger's never really, on the defensive side of things,
never bought a top defender. Like, if you think of the defensive signings that he's made, right? Campbell
was a free. Yeah. Like, he was a free agent, basically. Kolo Touré and
it wasn't a bad sign. Really he became the player at Arsenal, you know. The only time that he's ever really signed an actual defender, Sanya.
Yeah, Lorraine wasn't a bad sign. You remember him, the left back from
but he wasn't that wasn't if you sign Lorraine now, he wouldn't make an effect. No, do you know? Now he needs to go out and he needs to sign Thiago Silva, or he needs to sign Bonucci or Hummels, or he needs to spend upwards of 50 million on a centre back.
That's the thing as well, though, right? Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Bonucci I know Bonucci probably wanted to stay in Italy, but if Arsenal came strolling in there, bursting a gut to get in 40 million quid, there you go.
Yeah, no, to be fair to Bonucci though, he wanted to stay.
Yeah, he wanted to stay in Italy in the end.
Son.
Yeah.
He wanted. I think his son's ill or something, but he wanted to stay in Italy for that reason. But if you go in, Van Dijk isn't going to play for Southampton, right? Yeah. If he moved to Arsenal, he'd play for Holland in the World Cup, right?
But if they qualify, I don't think they're. I don't know really.
Okay, well, he'd get a better chance of getting into the side anyway, right? Yeah. If you're not playing at all. Yeah. I just don't see any logic at Arsenal right now. Yeah. Because you have fair enough, Van Dijk's come out and said that he wants to move to Liverpool. That's not going to happen.
I don't think it will. I think
because of what Liverpool were doing, right? So you have a defender who has said he doesn't want to play for the club that he plays for. Yeah. You are selling defenders like it's going out of fashion. Yeah. And you are selling Mustafi, you are selling Gabriel. If they sell Mustafi, right, and they're playing 3 at the back, then the only 3 centre backs they have are Koscielny, Holding, and Mertesacker. Yeah. No depth. Yeah. No substitutes. Kolasinac is a half centre back. Yeah. He was left back of the year last year. Yeah. Why are you not putting in a bid? Why are you not even looking at Van Dijk? Yeah. Why are you not even I don't think they're going to sign anyone.
No. Well, at this I don't.
They've got 2 days, and I think they need to bring in 4 players. That's not going to happen. No. They need to have the greatest deadline day of all time to even salvage a little bit of respect.
And if they are going to bring in 4 players in them positions, they probably won't be as good as they want them to be, because it'd be all, panicked.
Well, yeah, it'd be panicked. They're going to have to spend more money as well, because it's last day.
Let's talk of Johnny Evans gone.
What? Johnny Evans is not a Champions League defender.
No.
He plays for West Brom for a reason, mate. When he played at United, he was woeful, right? He was a joke of a player. Even at West Brom, when he moved there, he wasn't great to start off with. And now he's like toeing the line. Right. West Brom have a good defence because they're a defensively organised team. Right? Yeah. That doesn't mean, why aren't you going in for Craig Dawson? Yeah. Do you know, he's been linked with Man City.
He is, well. He's suddenly got loads of hype for no reason.
Why? He's not a good enough defender for a team that wants to be getting into Champions League. Yeah. You can't be playing Johnny Evans against Barcelona or Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. It's not. They need to bring in a huge defender and a big midfielder as well.
If on the point, so let's say if they only could bring in 2 out of all the positions they need, which one would you bring in? So if they can only sign 2 players. So who do you think? What position would you fill? What do you think is the most important?
Centre back,
and
I think Van Dijk and Nzonzi would need to be brought in. I think they're the two. They're the top of the list.
Someone was talking about Seri from Nice, but I'm just thinking Seri from Nice. I
don't know.
But he's literally like the same. He's literally like a midget. He's literally like a typical Wenger sort of.
No, they need to bring in just muscle. They need to bring in Van Dijk, and I'd say Nzonzi suits Arsenal's style of play a little bit more, and he's played in the Premier League before as well. But I think I'd go for Nzonzi above Carvalho if I'm Arsenal.
And Nzonzi, ever since he's gone to Spain, has been fucking incredible.
He's been amazing.
And he's been.
Mark Hughes said that he should have played for the French national team when he played for Stoke. And I was like, alright, calm down. But now he's a mainstay.
And the worst thing about France, have probably got one of the best squads I've seen since I've been watching since I've sort of taken over of international football. So he's been quite unlucky in that sort of sense.
What do you think? What do you make of the international break now? Do you think it's good for Arsenal?
I think it's good for Arsenal, so they can
takes a little bit of the pressure off. But I think Wenger, I don't know what's going on in Wenger's head, right? But this 3 at the back idea isn't working.
No.
They're bad in defence.
He hasn't really thought this through.
It just, I feel like we're just talking about the same things now. Yeah. Bellerin on the left isn't working. How are you not playing Lacazette up front when you just spent £50 million on him? Why aren't you playing a proper centre-back in Per Mertesacker in centre-back? Why are you playing Monreal there? Why are you playing Oxlade-Chamberlain when Oxlade-Chamberlain has said that he wants to leave? There's been huge links with Chelsea. He's turned down your contract for the money that he asked for. He wants to leave. You're not been making any signings. Net spend, Arsenal has spent £4 million. £4 million. How does that make any sense?
And then if they sell, I think, when they sell Mustafi and they've sold Chamberlain, I think it will obviously go down to nothing. They'll be
making profit then. They'll be making 30 million profit.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
The board, I don't know what the board do there. But they brought in
Stan Kroenke looks at that club and says it's making me a load of money. So let's just keep doing the same thing. Yeah. Right. The team that they played against Liverpool.
Yeah.
They could have played that last season.
Yeah.
So they're not improving the team in any way, and the result got worse. Last season they lost 3-1 at Anfield. This season it's 4-0. I think all these banners and all this Wenger out and all this kind of thing, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work because
what Arsenal fans need to do, if they really are serious about proving a point to this owner and getting Wenger out of the club and actually being a catalyst for change, and not just saying, we didn't get Champions League, so now everything's going to change, and you sign 2 players. That's not a catalyst for change. That's not change, right? What they have to do is stop going to games.
The problem is, though, Arsenal got such a big fan base all over the world, they just get 60,000 more.
I don't think they will, though.
No, I think
if fans have to unite, right? Yeah. Because fans are the main thing that bring money into that club, right?
Arsenal's a middle class club, though. There's a lot of fans in that club who kind of don't take notice of what's. I know you're thinking, what the fuck? It's very surely be able to, but there'll be fans all over the world kind of thinking,
I mean, you're never going to get an empty stadium at the Emirates because people are still going to go. Like to just say, "Oh, I've been to see Arsenal" is a thing like tourists want to say or whatever. But like,
it is
I think the only way you're going to get change in that club is if you stop handing money to Stan Kroenke.
Yeah, it is the biggest tourist club in the league, I think.
Is it?
100%.
Really?
But it's one of them anyway.
I'd say United.
You'd say United,
absolutely.
It's kind of like
United and City.
Yeah. I feel like with Kroenke though, like he's got such an American sort of sport mentality. It's sort of like
he owns the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's like a day. It's not like he doesn't get the fact that like football for a lot of people is like a weekly thing on a Saturday to go. Yeah. So most people think it's a day out. You go to the club shop, you fucking splash a load of money in the club shop, you buy the 20 quid hot dogs, and he doesn't realise that like people are going on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And there's probably I don't think he wants people like that in there. Like he wants people to keep their mouth shut, watch the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's like theatre or something.
Yeah.
So,
but I feel like,
and I have another point. I think that's why he puts ticket prices so expensive. So the average working class man won't be able to afford them. So
good point. I think though, like Arsenal are clearly on a downhill.
Yeah.
If Wenger lets Ozil leave, and Chamberlain leave, and Sanchez leave, look at that team without them, right? Look at the side that they played against Liverpool without those three players, okay? You have to replace Sanchez and Ozil with like-minded, equal quality players, okay? But if you take them out of the side, you've decided. So they played a 3-4-2-1, okay? You got to sign a new right wing back, and you got to sign 2 attacking midfielders who play behind the striker. Who are you going to bring in that are as good as Ozil and Sanchez
within the next couple of days?
No. I mean now, like at the end of the season, because they leave on a free.
I don't know.
Realistically, I can't pick 2. Isco maybe, but you're going to have to spend like 100 million on Isco.
I don't think he'd leave though. Real Madrid.
Who are you gonna like? How can you let them go?
Yeah.
Like people are saying, like John Giles actually made a good point that Sanchez and Ozil, if they leave at the end of the season, can't just play for Arsenal and say, oh well, I'm leaving, so I don't have to put in a shift, right?
Yeah.
They have to put in more of a shift, because if Bayern Munich are looking at Sanchez and they're seeing the way he's playing this season, and if he's taking it easy and not doing what
he's got to show a good attitude, good work attitude.
Absolutely, yeah. If he's taking it easy, Bayern Munich are just going to go, oh yeah, well we want the Sanchez from 2 years ago, not last season, Yeah. Sanchez is he's definitely going to have to play well.
Yeah.
To get a big move, right? He's like it's not an assurance that he's just going to move to Bayern Munich, because he's like 28 now.
Yeah,
he's kind of getting to that age where
level starts.
So if they see this season that he's not playing too well, they might steer clear of him.
Yeah,
right. Same with Ozil. Oxlade-Chamberlain less so because he's younger, but he still has to put in a shift, right? Like, I don't see. You see it with Liverpool keeping Coutinho. They're not selling their big player.
Yeah.
Everton sold Lukaku.
Yeah.
So are Arsenal just saying we're at the same level as Everton?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Everton, but
it seems like
it's not a big club mentality to just let your best player go.
I feel like though, I think it's with the contract thing with Arsenal, and it seems to be a trend. It's like give them 5 years. But when it starts to get to like 2 or 3, don't give him a new one. Especially when they do, especially someone like Sanchez. Surely a big club are like, okay, he's getting the 2 years, he's one of our main assets. Get him in the boardroom and talk to him, and give him the money that he wants, and just extend that contract.
But what I don't see with Wenger is, I know he did this with players after they won the Invincible at the 2004 Premier League. Like, he let a lot of players leave.
Yeah, in the space of a year and a half.
Yeah, but he did. Like, the situation with Sanchez, you'd like to think that if that was Henry, that wouldn't happen.
No.
I know Henry wanted to leave when he went to Barcelona.
Yeah.
But Wenger tried his best to keep him. Like, he was giving him unbelievable amounts of money, right? But he left. Why isn't he doing that with Sanchez?
I don't know.
Because Sanchez is the only shining light in that team. Sanchez and Lacazette. And he's not even playing Lacazette. Yeah. So what is going through his head?
Maybe there's something we don't know with the board. Maybe he's getting... maybe he has his hands tied a little bit. We don't know.
But
he shouldn't. But that's the thing, though. I can't think why his hands should be tied.
If his hands are tied and he knows that and he's not happy with that, why is he signing another 2-year deal?
Exactly. But
we can sit here and we can ask all the questions in the world about Arsenal. And literally I was watching this game just in shock, man. Yeah. Like, Arsenal to me are a big team, right? Yeah. Supporting Cardiff, if we got into the Premier League, I'd look at like the top 6 sides and I'd think, well, we're not going to win there, but let's just do our best, right? Yeah. And I don't mind losing, like I talked about earlier, losing to Bolton 3-0 or whatever. The main reason I was so angry, and the main reason that was the lowest point in my supporting life, was because Bolton whipped us at home. Right? Like, we did not get a touch in the ball. We lost 3-0. We got smashed to last place. Right? Yeah. And that's what annoys me. The players on that day didn't care. Yeah. But if we had lost 1-0 and we had a load of chances and we played well and all that kind of thing, like, I don't mind losing if the players put a shift in. Do you know what I mean? But Arsenal don't. Arsenal just go out for 90 minutes and they're like, well, I'm getting paid, £250,000 for this, or like $100,000 for this, so I'm just going to go out here and do what I want and not put in work, and that's what annoys me the most.
I think that will come down to, this is the thing as well, I feel like that's the manager though, because for example, because he playing under Mourinho, right? Mm-hmm. You know when you have a bad game under Mourinho, you get hooked. Ozil could have probably 7 bad games and still get in the team.
For Arsenal?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a problem as well, because Ozil knows he can take his foot off the gas. So because he's kind of like, well, I could play shit here today, but I know I'll be still playing next week, because Wenger knows that,
Wenger almost needs to play Ozil. Yeah. But in my, that's what I don't understand. Yeah. In my mind, Wenger needs to play the £52 million striker that he's just signed. Yeah. But he drops him for Danny Welbeck, man.
Can't be honest.
Lacazette has had the ball in the net for the past 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
I know the offside goal against Stoke didn't count, but he has shown that whenever he gets an opportunity, he scores it, right? Yeah. He scored after 5 minutes against Leicester in his first Premier League game. Yeah. Why are you dropping him, man? He's done nothing wrong. He doesn't have an injury. I looked this up. He doesn't have an injury. He's not unfit. There's nothing wrong with him. Arsene Wenger just went, not today, pal. Fair enough if that's like a £10 million signing. Yeah. Or if he's done that to Lucas Perez, or even if he's done it to Welbeck and just said, no, we're changing it up. Yeah. Why are you doing it to, Arsenal signed 2 players, right? Yeah. The Kolasinac deal was done in January, so they knew he was coming in. Yeah. The only thing that Arsenal fans have to be excited about this season is Lacazette, and now Wenger's taking that away from them too.
The worst thing about it, he doesn't even play him down the middle, he plays him out on the left.
Oh man, it's actually frustrating to watch from a football fan's point of view. Yeah. Fair enough, I don't support a Premier League team. If I supported West Brom, I'd be thinking this is great. Do you know, I don't even know what they can do to change. Yeah. Because Kroenke's not going to sell that club as long as it's making the profit that it's making. Yeah. It's probably one of about 3 clubs in the Premiership realistically that's actually turned a profit.
Yeah.
Like Bournemouth, Arsenal, and maybe Liverpool. Maybe. Yeah. Probably Huddersfield because of the playoff money. Yeah. But United, the money they spend, Chelsea, City, there's no way they can turn a profit from just from gates and from merchandise and from all that kind of thing. But Arsenal are a good club. They don't even have any debt. Yeah. So Kroenke's not going to sell it. Kroenke seems to be in love with Wenger, so he's not going to get rid of Wenger. But I feel like everything at that club has to change. Absolutely everything. Literally, if you look at that team and the way they're playing now, I wouldn't play anyone. I'd play Sanchez and Cech. The way that team played, I'd play Sanchez and Cech. That's it. Everyone else would change. I'd be playing kids. I'd be playing
Reece Nelson.
I don't know who that is, but
you trust me, you need to look him. He's fucking class.
I don't know who it is.
Well, but he's pretty good. He's one of the
youth player.
Yeah, youth player.
But like Arsenal, have really, like historically, have had fantastic youth.
Well, supposedly have had.
Well, yeah, but they have. They've got a great youth system. Even if you look at the players there now, like Jeff from Adelaide, and Maitland-Niles, and that guy Daniel Malon or something. Malon.
Yeah.
I'd be giving them a chance, because if you look at the likes of Declan Rice when he played for West Ham and Reece Oxford last season, they had something to prove and they played well.
Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, you're not going to be playing 9, 18-year-olds in an Arsenal side. Yeah. And like the way the Holding played, he's 20 years old and he played awful. So, but the players that play for Arsenal don't deserve to play for Arsenal. Like, I don't know what else to say. Wenger has to go. I don't even support Arsenal, and I'm part of the Wenger upgrade.
See, the thing is, right, and if, let's say, for example, Wenger does go, and let's say, I said, Eddie, how, for example, right? Wenger goes upstairs, right? Let's say, for example, Wenger goes director of football.
Yeah.
He will still control tactics, players.
Maybe not tactics so much, but if he's upstairs, he'll definitely control contracts, transfers, all that kind of thing.
Look, I genuinely think it might get to the point where he might, and it sounds horrible saying this, he might have to just pass away to like get from.
Absolutely.
I genuinely think
I agree.
I genuinely think he's never going to leave.
No,
he's going to have some sort of big running in the club.
Mm-hmm. I think the only thing that's going to stop it, like, he'll probably be given like honorary president or something when he leaves. Like, I think the only thing that's going to, like you said, the only thing that's going to make him leave Arsenal is someone assassinates him or
like, that's as bad as that sounds.
Yeah, it's bad. But
for a man who's done so much for that club, but your time.
He's done so much. He's given that club history in the sense that he did something that probably won't be replicated in the Invincibles year, right? Yeah. He brought them to a Champions League final. But since then, since 2006, 11 years, what's he done?
Nothing.
He's won the FA Cup twice, 3 times, against like Hull and Villa.
And Chelsea.
But like
Chelsea, I mean, the thing is,
he's done nothing in the past.
I was looking at like even his like big achievements. The season they went unbeaten, he was so, like, they were going for 3 trophies in March, right? He was so obsessed with going unbeaten, he threw away the Champions League basically to Chelsea, who beat them in the quarter. They beat them 3 times that year. I mean, and they lost the FA Cup semi to Man United. Because all his obsession was, I want to make history and go unbeaten. Now, as much as that's great and whatever, going unbeaten in the league, in any league, in a way, it is a pretty good achievement.
Of course.
But surely, like, if you're a fan levelling it up, you'd rather win like a treble or a double. Let's say if they won the Premier League.
Yeah, well, I mean, the debate is which team is better, the Invincibles or the Man United 1999 treble winning team.
Yeah,
and I'd be willing to say that it's the treble winning team.
Yeah,
because it's not about just winning the league. Like, it's okay to lose now and again, but it's okay to lose a couple of games. But they won the 3 major competitions that they were in. Arsenal just won the Premier League by by never losing.
It still baffles me though. That team, they had the best player in the world up front. They had the best team. They didn't even get to the semi in that period. The furthest they got of the Champions League. The furthest they got was the quarter. They got to the final in 2006, but that was when the Invincibles were starting to kind of come to the twilight. It's kind of though, like, as well, like, with the double winning, the 2 doubles as well. Everyone's like, that defence. He didn't build that defence.
No,
George Graham left and gave it to Bruce Rioch, who then left. And then George Graham's like, okay, Arsenal, use your knowledge of the French flair attacking players, put them, together, have a good attacking force. Then that 4 and Seaman know each other like the back of their hands, so you'll be fine at the back. And then you've got Vieira in the middle. So, even in his big achievements, you can see flaws.
Yeah,
huge flaws.
Yeah, I mean, to go back to this thing, really, the Invincibles year in Arsenal fashion was almost papering over the cracks.
Yeah, because they should have won the Champions League. Look at the team that bloody won the fucking thing.
Yeah.
No, they say that Porto team isn't bad, but
Still.
Yeah.
Like.
And then
if you're going undefeated in the Premier League, why can't you go?
Yeah, it's not
further in Europe.
Like, I mean, United, I don't know how many games United lost this season. They won the treble in the league, but they lost at least 3 or 4.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it doesn't really, like, losing games is not the end of the world.
Like, realistically, if you boil it down, if you're offered the Premiership or the Premiership, the FA Cup, and the Champions League, what one are you going to take?
Obviously the treble. I mean,
of course
they could have.
It's no brainer.
Yeah.
Like, who cares how you win it as long as you win it? It's the same in football.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're a manager? Who cares how you win? As long as you win. That's all I can bear to talk about Arsenal for.
Really can as well.
It's draining at this point.
Yeah.
Next week's the international break.
Yeah.
We will probably be reviewing the club's transfer endeavours.
Yeah.
After the window ends on Thursday, we'll be giving our opinion on all the signings and the sellings that have been made by each club. See if Arsenal actually listen to us and sign a few players. We will be giving our table prediction.
Can't wait for that.
Where we will basically just look at, the ins and outs and give our idea of where we think the teams are going to finish.
Yeah.
And we will probably round up some of the international games from the home nations. We'll probably focus in on England, Ireland, because we're Irish,
Yeah.
Might to Scotland, Wales.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland, maybe. We'll see how it goes. We'll probably be talking mainly about Ireland and England. Ireland playing Serbia and Georgia, aren't they?
Serbia.
We're playing Georgia.
No, Georgia Saturday, Serbia Tuesday.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about that. That's it. You got anything else to add?
Not really, no. I'm hungry. That's about it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, me and Sam are going to go get food. Thanks for listening. Please like it, share it, listen on SoundCloud, YouTube, subscribe on both. Tell your friends. And that's it. Thanks for listening.
See ya.